You make it very hard for me. You make it very, my hand hurts. When you play soft, you lose the sense of the weight of the sound and you get faster.
Okay.
Do the characterization with the volume and with the phrasing,
Yes.
but not with the tempo. Okay. Also, there will be a little bit careful. The second syncopation very often comes too soon, and it is.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Yes. David, I just want to ask you something. Why do you play now in 2 bars, no? You play stage. And now suddenly you make.
No, I don't want that.
I think you did the opposite too.
Yes.
The more tempestuous you begin it without an accent, the more you will get of that. Hmm? It's better. It's not quite right yet. It's better. I'll tell you, no, because you have, in order to do that, when you're coming down, I'll do it for you in slow motion. In order to avoid this, you have to play to the end. And come down very carefully. And then you don't have still the faith in your own control of the speed to place the accent. And that's why it lacks the strength because you still fall into it. But it's much better. Once more. Yes. Yes. There. Now look, you can really the accent and come down and again. And again. That's it. No, that's forte, isn't it?
No, it's I don't think there's something.
No?
I don't think in my score
It's forte. It's forte. No, it's forte. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, in my score, I'm sure it wasn't.
I believe you. But it is definitely forte. I don't know, but the score, but it's definitely, because it is always the opposite. This is why there is a question about the beginning.
Okay.
The only reason that there is a question about the beginning, whether it is piano or forte, the beginning of the sonata, is because in the repeat it is forte and then comes piano. But every time in this movement, there is a different dynamic for padam or padam, padam. That's really very, I think that's important.
Okay.
No. The second syncopation is padam, padam, padam. No. Sorry. I cannot let you get away with it.
Okay.
Run, dun, tom. Run, dun, tom. I know where your instinct is right because of the. Also, when you play in forte, make sure that you don't accentuate the end of the group. Otherwise, it doesn't allow you to continue. this is interesting, this is important. In order to do that, you must never give it away before. And make sure you play that it resounds to the end. Yum, commentary, yum, pom, pom, each one. Yeah, no, I want to hear two harmonies. I want to hear the two harmonies. Bravo. Bravo. Very good. Huh?
You asked him if at some point he could orchestrally begin to imagine some of the phrases. Do you think that would be helpful in terms of approaching a piece like this, to imagine the flutes in one part, the bass in another?
I think that this is something that can be helpful in any piece you play on the piano, because the piano, like this, you know, is a very primitive, neutral instrument. Any weight you put on the keys produces a sound. Look. It's a C sharp. It's not particularly interesting, but I do with the elbow. You could put an ashtray, anything you can do that. You try and do that on the violin. You get nothing. You have to first find a note, then you have to know how to put the finger, then you have to know how to connect the two hands, then you have to decide so many before you can actually make the equivalent of that. Therefore, the piano is, from that point of view, a very neutral element. And it is precisely this neutrality which gives it the possibility of so much expression. Because you can put on the neutral wall any colors you want. You cannot put any colors you want on a wall that already has a color, blue, red, whatever it is. And the neutrality of the piano is what gives it the possibility to be so expressive. But in order to do that, you have to accept the fact that in itself, left to its own devices, it is a very neutral, inexpressive instrument, but that it is open to 20 million different ways of seduction of each finger. And then you get that. And therefore, if you have in your ear the sound of the oboes, or the sound of the violin, or the sound of the chorus, or the sound of the flute, it doesn't have to be that had Beethoven orchestrated it, he would have put the flute. The mere fact that you have that in your ear and you have a sensitivity and an understanding of how the flute sounds in that register will allow you, if you have the necessary manual control, to produce a sound that is much more interesting and more imaginative than the sound that is produced by simply bringing the keys down. In many ways, the essence of Beethoven has very little to do with